We are going to look at Abdul El-Sayed talking to Jesse Watters. Wow, dude. That interview was something else, boss. Abdul is a fighter. Abdul was cooking him. I want to watch two of these. Now, the first thing I want to say about these clips was like, wow, Jesse Watters is like so smug, bro. He is like disgustingly smug and condescending and patronizing, and you know, where like it's like he's not even doing the interview to sort of like expose a viewpoint. He is doing the interview like from a point of disgust and probably like pure Islamophobic, you know, like disdain. Okay. And it's so like the attitude is so toxic, dude. It's so gross. It's so gross. But anyway, let's watch this one here about billionaires.
What are you going to do with more money? I mean, whatever I want.
I mean, Jesse, I don't know how much you make. Look,
not a billion.
I think I'd rather have. Well, yeah, look, so that's exactly it, right? The question ultimately is, do you want to drive on good roads, or would you rather have a billionaire make a second billion? That's what Mike Rogers wants. That's what Donald Trump wants. Apparently, that's what you want. I think the people in Michigan want something different. They want good roads and good schools.
So you're saying Beyonce, who just became a billionaire, she has to break you off something every year? She has to pay the politicians?
It's not me. It's the American public.
You're
Beyonce,
the one that wants the money.
Happy to be able to contribute back to the public schools that she went to. I think she'd be happy to invest in good roads in her community. I think she'd be happy to pay a little bit more so that everybody had a little bit more.
Dude, that right there. You see the first thing he does, he goes to Beyonce. He goes to a black woman. I'm surprised he didn't go Oprah. But of course, he went to Beyonce. He had to go to the black woman. Oh, she's got to pay you? It's like, dude, no, the politicians are not collecting this money, you smug prick. And yes, Beyonce would be happy to pay a little bit more. Cardi B would be happy to pay a little bit more to know that some other people aren't suffering. Okay? Oprah is happy to pay a little bit more to know that fucking people aren't suffering. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's people like Elon Musk who use a company that's never made money, that's lost $40 billion, that exists off taxpayer money, that becomes a fake trillionaire. It's those guys that want to undercut everything, and they want to keep all the resources for himself. What a fucking smug ass prick, dude. Oh, they're going to pay you? They're going to pay you? What a clown, dude. All right, here we go.
Bit more so that everybody had a little bit more.
You're reaching a little deep into the pockets.
To be defending billionaires from your channel, Jesse, that's a crazy thing. I thought you were for. I'm just saying. Look, at the end of the day, I thought you were for the everyday man. Like if you're for billionaires more than you're for every other person, well, you and I are just going to disagree.
No, I just think I have the right to the fruits of my own labor. That's America. It's not communist, what you're talking about.
No, the problem with it, Jesse, is
let me ask you about socialized health care.
Billionaires don't make money. Let me just answer the question.
Sure.
No. Let me go back to that.
Go ahead.
Billionaires don't make their money off of their labor. That,
yes!
I think, is where you head off. Billionaires that make their money off their money. So if you have $1 billion, your billion makes another 100 million. That's not the fruits of your labor. That's just the fruits of your money making money.
Yes, that is exactly it. When you get to a certain level of wealth, you don't even have to be a billionaire. You cease. At that point, you're making money off other people's fucking labor, right? It takes you no labor to take your $1 billion and buy fucking stock in whatever company where the hardworking employees work for a year. They get laid off, they get cut, they get their breaks cut, they get their benefit package cut, and then you make $100 million because that stock went up 10%. But you have done nothing. You called your fucking broker, and then you went and snorted cocaine off a sex worker's behind. Okay? And that's just it. No billionaires engage in labor, period. I love that he called that out. That was fucking beautiful, man.
I think it's okay. Like if we tax you at 7%, you're still gonna make what, a cool $30 million off your $1 billion? I think it's okay. They're gonna be okay, Jesse.
Yeah, I just don't like the idea of politicians like you capping how much money people make in America. That's just me. We can have the voters in Michigan decide. You say,
dude, what a fucking arrogant prick, though. Dude, so good. That's just it, though, guys. Okay, billionaires they don't make money on labor, and I'm gonna go one up too, and I'm going to say that 99% of the billionaires that even become billionaires, they didn't become billionaires because of their labor. They became billionaires of either that they got some type of fast money, right? They sold a startup or something, right? They basically converted something into a large sum of money, or they did something like even with Beyonce, okay? Beyonce, she worked hard. She's very talented. She made a lot of records. But when you look at Beyonce, when you look at Taylor Swift, when you look at Jay-Z, you look at these entertainment billionaires, even Oprah, there are like thousands of people that work, okay? Every concert that Taylor Swift goes to, there's a bunch of workers that are working for like just above minimum wage, doing concessions, cleaning the stadium, right? The stadium was paid for by taxpayer money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they are, again, a part of this systemic thing that generates $1 billion. Okay? You're not going to go out and play clubs in a van touring America and ever make $1 billion. You have to become a major label, like really big, chart-topping star where you're in this machine that has tens of thousands of people working low-wage jobs in taxpayer-funded stadiums, right? In this system that allows you, the entertainment person, to become a billionaire. And I think people like Beyonce, people like Taylor Swift, I think they understand that, okay? They do, right? They know that there's a systemic thing involved, right? But it seems like a lot of them don't have much of a problem giving back compared to the Bezos and the Zuckerbergs and the fucking Sergey Brins and the Jeffrey Epsteins and the Elon Musks, But yeah, dude, that clip right there, fucking brilliant. There's another one. You ready? Dude, this one is amazing, okay? Because again, look at this shit. Look at the title. Look at the 𝗙 here. Sex change surgeries for minors. Okay, now first off, what I would like to say is that the fact that they're trying to make this, a Michigan election about sex change surgeries for minors, dude, that is something that would rarely happen. And I mean, is there a possibility that a minor could have a transition surgery? Sure. Somebody who's like 16, 17, yes. It's definitely happens. Sometimes younger. Kim Petras, there's a handful of people that have done it young that have had extraordinary results. But this is like rare. This is like so fucking rare. This is not something that 99.99999% of America are ever even going to encounter. Okay? It's just ridiculous. But like, it's crazy that is the 𝗙. That is what they're trying to associate this with. Like, oh, we're going from 0 to 100 with fucking sex change operations and shit for minors. Like, wow, dude. All right, but watch this clip. You ready?
The idea that the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. I just think the government shouldn't tell you what kind of health care you should have. And if you're a minor,
you want to try on kids?
Now, if you disagree with that, if you disagree that healthcare decisions need to be made by a doctor and their parents and a patient, then we think we agree to disagree. But you want to put government inside.
So Abdul, you're a doctor, right?
Selectively. I am.
So you think it's okay for a parent to slash his kid's thing-a-ling off? You think that's okay?
I mean, do you really want to have this conversation? Are you circumcised?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a personal question.
Okay,
doctor.
So you probably should want to move on.
Is circumcision's different than castration?
I think it's a problem. It's a problem that you think that you get to decide what happens between a parent, a doctor, and a patient. And I'm just saying that, yes, circumcision is surgery on a kid's ding-a-ling. So if you really want to bring that up, you can. I just think you guys are really selective about how you want to talk about these things.
Abdul, Michigan's not going for that. That is sick stuff.
Dude, again, that is not sick stuff, okay? Guys, listen to me. I'm going to go on a limb here, and I'm going to say that I think circumcision is actually worse. You know why? Because there's no fucking consent, all right? When a parent chooses to circumcise a kid, that kid does not give consent. A parent is making a medical decision about that kid's genitalia, and they're circumcising the kid without the kid's consent. And like, maybe that kid doesn't want to be circumcised. Maybe that kid doesn't want that fucking procedure. But it's crazy because parents will do that all the fucking time, right? Now, at the end of the day, guys, everybody is allowed to have their feelings about, you know, people using puberty blockers or people, you know, beginning a transition at a young age, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the point, though, is it's between the child, the parents, the doctors, okay? This idea that a child and a parent and a doctor could look at anything, whether it's a person being transgender or the kid wanting to do an experimental leukemia treatment or a type of knee surgery, or the parents want to put the girl on puberty blockers because her boobs got too big too fast, which is a pretty common thing that happens. The idea that parents and the children and the doctors can come together and decide on a treatment plan for any medical issue, and the government wants to come in and be like, no. We're going to tell you what you need to do in this instance. We're going to tell you what you can and can't do with you, your children, and your doctor. Dude, that's fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That is bullshit. That is fundamentally like so off. Those decisions should be made by the parents, their kids, and their medical professionals for medical treatments, as long as the treatment is not something illegal. You know what I'm saying? As long as it is a legal treatment. It's just ridiculous to think that the government has the right to decide what medical treatment you can and can't pursue. I mean, dude, there's nothing that is free about that. I will say this, though. I think if you actually do have a transgender kid, them starting their transition before puberty is really important. I don't think anybody wants to rush anyone to, you know, top or bottom surgery. Like, I really don't. I'm not seeing this like crazy rush to that thing. But I do know that you want to start the transition before puberty. If you want the trans person to fucking have like a chance at a full transition. Yo, political punk here. I know, it's killing me. Seriously, guys, if you like what we do around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and turn those noties on. And I wouldn't be anywhere without the members. So if you want to hit the join button, we really appreciate that too. Thank you so much, guys. It's getting crazy out there, and I'm just really glad to not be going through this alone. All right? All right, keep your chin up. Let's go, boss. All right, fuck you. Bye-bye.